Hey there, my Rotation 411 Astrology subscribers. So I want to hop on here really quick. I know I'm running late on the birthday videos for the birthday series, but I'm actually going to be working on my sound studio tonight after I shoot this. So I'll be catching up on those, doing like 3 or 4 a day. So those are coming, and I'm also finishing up the Libra Sun Aries Moon video so we can get on and get to Taurus Moon soon. Anyways, I wanted to talk today about aspect that I think is a major red flag. It's not necessarily a deal breaker because I do see couples that work that are married with it. Like, say if their moons are, incompatibility, they might be able to make it work. I often see it with moon sextiles. So, moon sextiles don't always last. If they have heavy red flag aspects is what I call them. So I call them red flag aspects when they're more, and I'm working on those series now. If you want to see my deal breakers, that's in the Are You Wasting Your Time video. Deal breakers are like, it's absolutely not going to work out, but red flags are like those annoying aspects that add tension and dynamicism, they add like layers, tension, obstacles, things like that. So sometimes red flag aspects can really wear on a couple over time, like Saturn opposition or square Venus. That can really be wearing, or can kind of put a friend zone twist to it. I don't know if I did a video on that. I might do that. But today we're going to talk about Mars square Neptune, because I've dealt with this from both sides. And there was one other person I experienced it with, but it wasn't who I thought when I ran the chart, so I'm not sure who it was. But there's two distinct people that I know that I've experienced this with, and I've been observing a few couples with it lately as well. So when we're talking about Mercury and Neptune, Mercury is the planet of our thinking, our talking, it's communication. It's the reason why when it goes retrograde 3 times a year, communication and things like that get a little bit thwarted. Flights can be delayed, all kinds of things with the mind. Uranus is technology, so you would think flights being delayed would be a Uranian energy, and it could be that happened to me during that Mercury retrograde when Uranus was retrograde or something, but it's more to do with communication and just the delay. It's really actually a time, this video is not about Mercury retrograde, but to go back and review. So there's a project I've been working on, and I'm actually thinking that Mercury retrograde, I haven't been able to get to it lately. I've been so busy with everything. And I think Mercury retrograde might allow me some time to actually go back and finish that thing. Being a Libra rising, Aries sun, I'm very cardinal. It's hard to finish things sometimes. Obviously, you can see how I'm behind on all of my series. Mercury retrograde is not the worst thing. It can also bring back past lovers to reconcile, although you shouldn't make the decision to reconcile while you're doing that. So Mercury, it rules Gemini, which is a very quick-witted, mental kind of sign, very communicative, and it also rules Virgo, which is, all about service and is very analytical. And both of these signs, signs, Gemini and Virgo, are very hands-on. And so I do see a lot that connotation between Mercury and the hands. So it's your mind, but it's also how your mind communicates through your speech and through your hands, right? And through your movement. It's like your mind operating your body, your mind operating everything outside of you. That's Mercury. Now, and it's also your idle chatter. Gemini and Virgo can be kind of, Gemini likes to talk sometimes, even though they are very wise and discerning and quick mentally. And Virgo is very, very analytical and mental as well, but they also can tend to like overanalyze things and go in circles and just kind of really chitter chatter and do their little daily tedious things they really enjoy. So that's Mercury, and we all have that in us, and it's all in a certain sign, whether that's Aries, Gemini, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and that's how we're going to go about our thinking and our speech and things like that. So with Neptune, right, Neptune's the ruler of Pisces. It's a very spiritual, like 12th house kind of ethereal placement. It's the fog, it's mystery. And I was thinking of the coolest thing to say about this earlier today. That's why I wanted to do this video today. But the thing is that in relationships, whether so synastry is when we're looking at, you know, one person's going to be the Mercury and one person's going to be the Neptune, and the way that those are aligning. Now if they're aligning in a square or an opposition, which are hard aspects, or even here a conjunction, because Neptune's going to put that fog over Mercury, you're going to get a lot of confusion and things that aren't very clear. And so I connotate this with this aspect with lies. And so somebody might not be a liar, right? But you're going to see them that way. And I honestly don't know anymore if it varies from relationship to relationship and sign placement to sign placement, or if you both going to feel that way. Because as the Mercury person, I had a Neptunian person, and you know, I tell my personal stories, and a lot of astrologers don't like to do that, but I like to do that because I think story is very powerful. It helps you remember what I said, and it also is relatable, right? And I don't mind putting myself out there like that. So when you have Mercury, like it was my mind, and I was dealing with Neptune, nothing was ever very clear about the relationship, right? And a lot of the definitions say like a lot of promises were made. So it was like we were dating, and I have a bad habit. I won't call myself out on that. And he's like, okay, if you can quit your bad habit, we'll be in a relationship. All the while he knew that he had I don't know at the time, the timeline's still foggy, Neptune, right? I still don't know. My Mercury doesn't know to this day, but he either had a pregnant girl stashed somewhere or like a 1-year-old child stashed somewhere. The timeline. So this is Mercury square Neptune, like, and I swear I wasn't going to tell these stories anymore because I'm trying to attract new things into my life. So this will be the last time I tell this story, of course, for the whole world to see. But basically what happened is, you know, we dated for about a year, and then we had a falling out, and then he called me and left like a 2-minute voicemail, or 3 minutes. I still have it on my Google Voice, but like, oh, I'm so sorry, and da 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 da. And this was about the time the girl popped up on Instagram. So if you're wondering why I have no Instagram following, I was very traumatized by this experience. Of course, I didn't connect the dots for about 4 or 5 years later, but and so this was summertime. He had to go abroad for school, and then he came back, and I'm pretty sure he either knocked her up during the summer or in the fall. And let's just say this happened late. Sorry for the interruption. I ordered some food. I have a friend coming over, and I want to eat before they come. But so back to the timeline. Let's say this happened summer of 2014, and I didn't find out about the child until she was almost 3 years old. And I was dating him the whole time. He was in graduate school, and he was like, I mean, he never said, right, Neptune, that, oh, we're going to be together someday, but I just thought that we were being responsible. We're seeing each other on a pretty regular basis for 4 or 5 years. So I thought that, you know, he just wasn't looking for any type of commitment until he was through school, because he was trying to take the bar exam, failed the first time. I'll just go ahead and call him out on my channel. And it was because he had all these other distractions. He started a whole family, and he had a girlfriend, clandestine girlfriend. Me, I don't know if she was the side piece, or if I was, still to this day. That's Mercury square Neptune, right? So recently I came upon a relationship that I really liked, and I hate to call this person out, so I won't do it as much, but there was Mars square Mars. So right there I already knew, like, I really don't recommend Mars square any personal planet, especially personal planet, well, even Jupiter, which is like a mid planet, for anybody, especially my clients. But for some reason I thought that I could make this work. I really don't recommend Mars square anything. And we also have Mercury square Neptune, and I was the Neptune person this time. So I thought to myself, okay, you know, I know in relationships before that, you know, when we're growing up, we've all done things. So I was like, okay, you know, I just need to be straight up and not, you know, mess around, or, you know, tell any lies or be deceitful, you know, be straightforward. So so I was at first, I was like, let's just hang out, get to know each other, and then I want to get more serious and whatever. But the point of the matter is he told me that he was single and got out of a long-term relationship, and then come to find out after like 6 months, we did have a couple falling outs because the Mars square Mars probably, but then he came around and I really thought it was going somewhere. And to keep a long story short, he basically, I don't know if it was like when we were during, because we hung out for like 6 months, so I don't know if it was like during one of the times we were not talking, because there was like a month or two where we didn't talk twice because because Mars square Mars. Anyway, so I don't know if they like reconciled a little more during that time or something. They live on other sides of the country, so he'd always reassure me with these things. He was Mercury, right? And he was like, oh, she's on the other side of the country, what's she gonna do about it? Oh, she's still hung up on me, she still texts in the middle of the night, really scary stuff, it freaks me out. I feel like I have to be there for her. Oh, I feel so cold to her, all this stuff. And then I'm not paying attention because I don't really like to check Instagram and Facebook and things like that after what happened with the first Mercury square Neptune. And of course, self-fulfilling prophecy, I go and check and he's still in a Facebook official relationship with this woman, which was a lot more than he led me to believe, but he's still standing dignified and justified in his Mercury to my Neptune, that he was straight up from the gate, even though he was very, very misleading. And oh, this is why I want to make this video, is the Neptune fog. Not only did it work when I was dealing with Neptune as Mercury, where Neptune was lying and being unclear, but now that I was Neptune, I wasn't seeing things clearly. I didn't go look at the mercurial details of things. I didn't check his social media, make sure that he was single, check on this, because I was just in this fog about what he was saying. But what he was saying was very clear, right? He even wrote it to me in text. I could show you very clearly that, there's nothing going on there. But then why are you officially in a relationship and now you're choosing to break things off with me because you're so adamantly in that relationship that you can't even take that status down, because she's gonna freak out because she still thinks you're in a relationship. See, so I got screwed either way. I just want to share that experience with you guys about Mercury square Neptune, and the reason I use my real life examples was so you can see how it can play out. It starts with little white lies, like the one that I lied about the kid. He told me, that his birthday was a year off, probably because he didn't want me to look up and see that he had a kid or something. But I didn't know at the time. I'm like, why would you lie about that? Why? And one day I was like, oh, I don't have a California ID yet. Can I see yours? We were going on a date and we were getting out of the car. And he's like, sure. And he handed it to me, and then he looked at me and I grabbed it from him, and like they think they're so slick. But anyway, so if you have Mercury square Neptune, and you're in a relationship, I did observe 2 couples recently that have been together for quite a while. I think one couple's been together for maybe, I should look this one up, like 5, 6, maybe 7 years, and they're married. And with them, I think, I don't really know. They have their moon sextile, but I had that with this person too. But I don't think that they have any harder like Mars contacts or Pluto or any deal breakers, but they do have, what did they have? Saturn opposition Venus, which I was talking about earlier, which isn't very enjoyable. It can be very restrictive. Venus is our arts, our beauty. I should just label this Saturn opposition Venus too. I'm gonna make a video about that, and when I do, I'll tag this one. But anyways, and if you want to see that, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. But also, the other thing is Mercury, Saturn. Oh yeah. So then the other couple that has it, like you just watch these couples, they're together for years, and you wonder, like, man, I was in unofficial things for a few years. Well, not this last time, but that had this, that was so unbearable, right? I don't know how couples can last for years like that. Maybe it's just not, they're tight enough orbs, right, for it to be showing up in their charts, so they have to be feeling the effect of it. Maybe they just haven't woken up to the lies yet, or maybe maybe it doesn't always manifest in such an extreme way. Like I said, it could be self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm very intuitive. Any of you are my clients, you know that. So it's like I pick up on the little lies. Maybe they always act like it's my fault, like they were straight up. So maybe I do manifest it into something bigger than it is, hiding a wife or a girlfriend or a child. That was my fault because they were upfront and honest with me, even though they were leading me to believe that we were going to be in a relationship someday. So maybe it's that, or maybe it's like these people are being lied to in these relationships and they don't know, and they're going to wake up someday to it. I was going to say, or maybe it doesn't always manifest into a huge lie. Like maybe it's just these little everyday, like, why did you tell me you put the ketchup back in the fridge when you didn't? Why did you tell me you spent $20 on this when it was that? Like it could be just little lies like that, but it's really annoying. So usually it's hiding something bigger. Usually there's a reason they told you that their birthday was 1 year off, or there's a reason they told you they spent that $20 somewhere else they didn't, because maybe they went to talk to someone, you know what I mean? So not that you should let jealousy get out of control and turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm just letting you know that if you have Mercury square Neptune in the Synastry chart, and I'll put the link below for Cafe Astrology so that you can run the chart and see if you have it, I definitely would say make sure that you dot your T's, cross your I's, check all. I would even do like a background check if you have this aspect. I'm not saying that it can't work. It's not necessarily, like I said, I see couples that are together for years that have it. I don't really see it in really healthy couples, like people that have been married 30, 40, 50 years with those moon trines and conjunctions. I don't see Mercury square Neptune. I see it more, I see it in like couples that have been together for a few years. I know for me, it didn't even allow for relationships to solidify. There could have been other aspects though, like with the one that lied about the kid, there was no Saturn, so there was never any real glue to hold us together, which is kind of why we kind of floated away. Mars square Mars was the other reason, and I wish I could remember the other person I had with. So if the relationship has all other good things going on and it has this, it's gonna be annoying to live with, but no relationship is perfect. Even the ones I have with great aspects that I've lived through, still, like some Mars trine Uranus, if you watch that video, can just keep us too independent to stick together. So sometimes even the really good ones, the lighter positive aspects can kind of just make it like, oh, this is so easy and nice and flowy, we might as well just go flow off, and find ourselves because you make me feel so good, kind of a thing. And sometimes that can be the end of the relationship, but there's no hard feelings, kind of thing. Where with Mars square Neptune, like if you break up with this person, you say you didn't wake up the whole relationship to all the BS and the lies. Like if you break up with them later, you're gonna look back and be like, oh, I can't believe that. And you're gonna, if you have any kind of intuition, you're not even intuition, it could just be like paperwork that comes up later because we're dealing with Mercury, right? Or even during meditation when Neptune brings you some clarity, you're gonna say you're with someone for 4 or 5 years with Mercury square Neptune. It might be 3 years down the road, you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you'd be in a whole new relationship and not even think about this person anymore, and you're gonna wake up one day and be like, I can't fucking believe, oh, sorry, excuse my language. And watching this guy, I think he's like Wolfman something, his tarot readings, he's really cute. I followed him on Instagram, but he's always cussing, so I usually don't cuss in my videos, excuse my language. But one day you're gonna wake up, if you're Mercury square Neptune, like I said, you could be moved on with your soulmate, happily married, you're gonna wake up and be like, oh my gosh, oh, now when they said 2,000 miles away, oh, now when they said this, oh, it's gonna click, oh, they lied about this. So if you have this, I would definitely, I'm not saying it can't work if you have this, but I would definitely recommend getting a Synastry reading done. I would love to do it for you. I'll put the link below for that, or go to any astrologist, but definitely you want to look at the rest of the chart and see if it's worth it. If you got like a moon conjunction, no hard contacts with Mercury, some solid Saturn going on, some really nice, enjoyable, Venus, Mars, Sun, Moon contacts, then it might be worth it to stick this out. But if you've got, you know, a divorce aspect like Mars square Saturn or Pluto square Mars or Pluto conjunct Mars even, which is really binding, and I don't know, I wish that one could work. That's a whole nother story. You probably are not going to, I would recommend to get out as soon as you can. All right, I'm sending you lots of, because you're just going to invest a lot into something that's not going to turn out, and you're going to be hurt and damaged at the end of the day. So I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and light and abundance. Let me know if there's any aspects that you guys want to see. I'll be back on soon to continue the Celebrity Synastry series, the big 144, and what is the other? Oh, the birthday series. Yeah, I really got to catch up on that. I got to do April 28th and then all of May. So happy birthday to all my Tauruses. I know it's already Gemini season, but I'm sending you all love, blessings, and light.